Hello and welcome to Todd Rolls Dice, where we're going to take a look at the first WarCom preview for the brand new Drukhari Codex that's going up for pre-order this weekend. This is the final Warhammer 40,000 Codex, so we are firmly on the path to getting the end campaign crusade stuff that we always seem to get at the end of these editions, and that's the bit that I enjoy. I loved Arcs of Omen in 9th, and I hope that whatever this one is, it lives up to that as well. I just think that they're the real fun bit for me. So while I am not a Drukhari player, I have no idea how they play. I'm not saying I'll never be one, but I'm not dialed in on these rules, so any changes, anything that you guys don't like, let me know in the comments. But how about we jump into this one? Pain and Panic are potent pick-me-ups for the devious Drukhari. While the craft world Aldari escaped the doom of their empire and managed to avoid the worst aftershocks of Slaaneish's birth, the Drukhari felt it much more keenly. They suffered a great spiritual rend on their souls that continues to slowly but surely drag their living essence into the Dark Prince's realm. The only way to stave off this crawl into eternal damnation is to bask in waves of extreme emotional expression, feeding on pain, horror and sorrow, to infuse themselves with strength and vitality. I think that Hesperax there, the fancy model, is probably one of the newest ones in the Drukhari range. The rest of them are starting to show their age, aren't they, to be honest? They are freaky, they are messed up. It kind of works, and they're not a terrible model range. I know that they need a bit of love. I don't think they're terrible though. So, on the battlefield, this gives raiding Drukhari a serious power boost once they start calling hordes of their lessers. Bound up into the updated Power from Pain army ability, so they have changed their army ability, like they have with pretty much every Codex release, I think. How you gain these vital pain points is similar to before, stemming from a steady diet of destroyed and battle-shocked units, but rather than applying one of the two generic abilities to anyone you spend your tokens on, each datasheet now has its own pain ability. I understand why the index would be a lot more cut down, but I actually like that different units will do different things with those pain tokens. Army rules. Power from Pain. Gaining pain tokens. If your army faction is Drukhari, you gain pain tokens as follows. 1 pain token at the start of your command phase, 1 pain token each time an enemy unit is destroyed, and 1 pain token each time an enemy unit fails a battle shock test. Really want to play into those battle shocks then, don't you? Obviously killing is a big part as well. I wonder if they have boosted like things that decrease your battle shock tests and make you worse at them and more likely to fail. Interesting. Each time you gain a pain token, keep it to one side. This is your pain token pool, obviously. Each time you spend a pain token, reduce your pain token pool by the same amount. Empowered through pain. Each pain ability will state when you can spend pain tokens to empower that unit. When you do, until the end of the phase, that unit is empowered and all pain abilities it has take effect. While an attached unit is empowered, the pain abilities of all leader and bodyguard units in that unit take effect. Nice. You do not need to spend additional pain tokens to activate each of these pain abilities. 1 token per unit. If it's a bodyguard unit, you get both the leader and the bodyguard unit abilities from that pain token. That's how everybody else is, that's how it should be. I like that they confirm it. These are in addition to the unit's normal abilities, and every unit has one, from the lowliest Cabalite to the Queen of Knives herself. The former earn rerolls to wound, that's not terrible, while Lilith Hesperax supercharges the entire squad she's leading with extra strength and armor pen. So they have their standard ability, and then this ability that you can turn on as and when you want it to. Cabalite Warriors, for instance, Sadistic Raiders, their pain ability. In your shooting phase or the fight phase, when you select this unit to shoot or fight, you can spend 1 pain token to empower this unit. While empowered, each time a model in this unit makes an attack, reroll a wound roll of 1. If the target is within range of an objective marker, you can reroll the wound roll instead. Being able to give them rerolling wound rolls of 1 is nice. That objective marker one is really nice, probably where you're going to focus using it, depending on what you're up against. Being able to reroll a wound roll when you're trying to take an objective, pretty nice, and it doesn't specify if you need to control the objective or not. That's quite a nice ability actually. And then Lilith Hesperax, the Brides of Death. Her pain ability. In the fight phase, when you select this model's unit to fight, you can spend 1 pain token to empower that unit. While that unit is empowered, each time a model in that unit makes a melee attack, improve the strength and armor pen characteristics of that attack by 1. I don't know what she can run with. Witches? Is Witches a close combat thing? See what she's in here. I think that they're witches. I know nothing about Drukhari. Yeah, pistols and close combat weapons. It's not bad. Improving strength and armor pen by 1. It helps you out in a pinch. I don't know if it's quite as good as rerolling wound rolls. But then, that said, that is on top of whatever the other ability is for whichever unit she's with. So that's probably going to stack quite nicely into some things. Yeah, okay, I like it. She's going to be a real blender, isn't she? As for detachments, Real Space Raiders is much the same as it is in the Index, but it now gives you a larger bounty for mixing and matching Kabbalite, Witch, and homunculus units in your army. The Spectacle of Spite leans into witches with army-wide combat drugs, giving your gladiators a cocktail of thematic buffs. Very Emperor's Children. Very Slaneshi then, isn't it? While the Covenite Coterie trusts in the natural resilience of the Drukhari's flesh abominations to outlast your opponent. The Sky Splinter Assault reaches into the classic Drukhari playbook of lightning-fast simmer assaults by powering up units that freshly disembarked, visiting a rain of cruelty on unfortunate heads. As many Drukhari ranged weapons already wound easily with variations of the anti-infantry rule, this detachment ability simply strips away enemy cover to deny them some handy save bonuses, or bumps up your wound rate when you leap out of the raider straight into melee. Do Drukhari weapons have anti-infantry across the board? Because anti-infantry is very nice. I'm a big fan of anti-infantry. So we do have Sky Splinter Assault. We have another one as well. So Sky Splinter Assault detachment rule, Reign of Cruelty. Each time a Drukhari unit from your army disembarks from a transport until the end of the turn, ranged weapons equipped by models in that disembarking unit have the Ignores Cover ability, nice, and melee weapons equipped by models in that disembarking unit have the Lance ability. Lance is nice. I think Lance is a little underused, but it probably fits quite well with the theme of jumping out of a transport and just going at your enemy. 2 very nice abilities. I mean, Ignores Cover is, I think it's quite good, but it might not be super flashy, but I definitely like it. And if they already have anti-infantry and then Ignores Cover, that's not a terrible combo. Enhancements and stratagems further enhance this synergy with transport vehicles, providing useful bonuses for those stood nearby after disembarking, or even to the transport itself, increasing both their damage and durability. Kabbalite cartels are known for their mercenary ways, and are especially adept at hunting down high-value targets. The Murderous Agenda rule gives you the chance to put a bounty on an enemy unit's head, directing all your focus towards them and awarding a chunk of pain tokens when the job's done. So this is another detachment rule, the Kabbalite Cartel Murderous Agenda. At the start of the first battle round, select one of the contracts below, then select one unit from your opponent's army that matches the contract description in the contract. Until that contract is completed, that unit is your contract unit, and Cabal and Blades for Hire units from your army have the ability stated in that contract. At the start of your command phase, if your contract unit is destroyed, the contract is completed and you gain 3 pain tokens. So you select a contract that you want, and then you pick the unit that fits that contract, and then you send your Cabal and Blades for Hire to just murder it for 3 pain tokens instead of the 1 that you would normally get for killing it. Do you get the 3 pain tokens and then the 1 for killing a unit? I wonder. It doesn't really say. But the 3 contracts: Trophy Hunters, contract 1 character unit. Ability: each time a Cabal or Blades for Hire model in that unit makes an attack that targets the contract unit, that attack has the precision ability, exactly what you want for a character unit. Sow Fear and Terror, contract 1 infantry or mounted unit, excluding units containing only character model. At the start of your command phase, this contract is completed if all non-character models in that unit are destroyed. Okay, I like that actually. I like that stipulation. Ability: each time a Cabal or Blades for Hire model in this unit makes an attack that targets an infantry or mounted unit, that attack has the Sustained Hits 1 ability. It's not terrible, it adds more weight of fire, so more dice is always nice. And then Show of Strength, contract 1 monster or vehicle unit. Ability: each time a Cabal or Blades for Hire model in this unit makes an attack that targets a monster or vehicle unit, that attack has the Lethal Hits ability. I wonder how that's going to play in with certain weapon types, but I'm a fan of Lethal Hits. And against vehicles and monsters, higher toughness things, I think Lethal Hits is pretty nice. What do we think? Based on those 2 detachment rules that we've seen, I quite like Reign of Cruelty, but obviously you're building into certain specific ways. That is your dedicated transport detachment. This is your dedicated Kabbalite, Cabal unit, and blades for hire, whatever they are. If you're not really wanting to take a load of those, you're not going to get the best out of Murderous Agenda. So different ways of playing. I think both of them have their plus points. All 4 of your enhancements make Archons as deadly and devious as possible, moving units around during deployment and regaining lost wounds. Both quite nice. The stratagems are a catch-all collection of useful tricks, playing around with your contract unit and making sure your troops have enough focus firepower not to disappoint whichever joker thought it would be amusing to put a hit out on Angron. Yeah, that's a point. What if you do go after Angron? You're gonna have to kill him. I mean, killing Angron should give you 3 pain points regardless. Yeah, interesting stuff. I'd love more detail in these articles. WarCom is getting very light on actual information for these previews, and I don't like that. Obviously this is the first preview, hopefully of a couple, but there isn't a huge amount here, is there? In fact, there isn't any enhancements at all. I would rather we just got a sample of 1 detachment rule and then a couple of the enhancements, like they normally do. Yeah, I mean, this sounds okay. Remember Codex Drukhari and the new Real Space Raiders Battle Force, which I am against, which includes the new Archon miniature, and that's why I'm against it, are coming up for pre-order this weekend. You can pre-order it from the usual time on Games Workshop or your friendly local gaming stores for a bit of a discount, because these prices are going to be going up. All of this stuff, I believe, yeah, so it's absolutely releasing after the price increase in October, so if you want to beat that price increase, or at least try to mitigate the increase through Games Workshop, definitely look at third parties for pre-ordering. But enough about that and my stance on that. What do we think of this? Drukhari players, what do you think of Murderous Agenda? And what do you think of Reign of Cruelty? We only have not even half the image. We need to know units, informations, and we need to know enhancements to really get an idea of both of these. On face value as a detachment rule, I don't mind Reign of Cruelty. And I just like the fun idea of Murderous Agenda. This is definitely a bit more of a role-play kind of, there's a big thing, I'm going after that. Show of strength kind of vibe. I love that. Like they say, putting a hit out on Angron, I think that's quite amusing. I would love for someone to do it in a tournament game. Say, right, my Cabalites, that Angron model, you're going down, and seeing if they could do it. I'd like to know what the Archon does. I'd like to know a bit more. Yeah, I'm okay with this. I don't think there's enough here. I like that they've reworked Power from Pain. I don't know if this is going to give you more tokens or the same tokens. I couldn't tell you. Hopefully you'll let me know in the comments below. But I do like that each unit has an ability that probably more links in with how you want to use them instead of a standard. Again, I don't know if this is new or not because I haven't looked at their index, but this sounds pretty good. And the fact that hero pain abilities also link in with the troops unit, the bodyguard unit that they're running around with, just to make them that little bit stronger. Exactly how it should be, but I think that that is a really nice thing as well. Like what we're seeing, but we're not seeing very much. But I'd love to know what you think in the comments below. Let me know. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.